Okay, everybody, here is part 2 of our review for your Unit 3 test, and we're going to look at interest groups. Definitely know what the definition of an interest group is, an organization of people who enter the political process to try to achieve their shared goals. I would definitely know that for your test, and they don't they don't run their own candidates for office, but they support candidates who are likely to support their interests. And they have a much narrower focus than political parties. So if you were to be asked a question, just know that interest groups tend to be policy generalists, and then political parties are policy specialists, okay? So again, interest groups are policy generalists, and political parties are policy specialists. So just something to know. You will see some questions about political action committees. Definitely know that they are the political arm of an interest group, and their main objective is to raise money to give to parties or to candidates. And most likely, PACs are going to give money to popular incumbents, so people who are currently in office who have a lot of support. Let's see what else. They make campaign contributions most often in hopes of gaining access to legislators. So that's really their primary goal. And political action committees raise funds or money to contribute to favored candidates or political parties. So you also should know that. And again, they are going to give money to incumbents of both major parties. There's actually not, excuse me, there's actually no questions that I can remember or that I'm seeing that have to do with 527s, but those are the tax code given to the donations made by PACs, which sometimes go into the millions of dollars. Okay, theories of interest group politics. This was on one of the first lectures that I did. I think it was way back in chapter 1. But it really breaks down to group politics. There are 3 different categories. There's the idea that when only a few groups have most of the power, this is known as elitism or the elitist perspective. And I think that makes sense. So rule by the elite, the elite is always, oh, really?
Please excuse this interruption. As a reminder, teachers, the fire drill will be at 10:50. We'll be heading to break now.
Oh, so apparently we have a fire drill. Okay. So elitism, a few groups have the most power. Pluralism is the idea that interest groups are good because it opens up more opportunity for more people to become politically involved. And hyper pluralism is when there are too many groups that are getting too much if they want, and this ultimately ends up in chaos, and the government really is losing control because it's trying to please all the different groups. Other things just to know about, types of interest groups, economic, focus maybe particularly on labor groups, most notably, nothing specific actually now that I'm seeing that, but just know that there are different types of interest groups, including economic and labor unions are the biggest. Consumer groups, so public interest groups, including consumer safety and environmental interest groups. Interest groups that focus for equality, the NAACP, NOW, and then Gay and Lesbian Alliance are 3 of the most common. Let's see. So what does an interest group member do? Well, often they will use lobbying to try to influence government politics. And it's the job of a lobbyist to convey information to the lawmakers. So a lobbyist would most likely be the one on the phone or email or potentially even visiting a congressperson to try to get a law passed. So on your test, if you're asked what's most likely a lobbyist to do with Congress, contact the officials. Okay. And electioneering, there's a test question about this. And electioneering is money for political campaigns to get supporters elected. I have a visitor, and most often PACs are going to be the ones responsible for that. I don't think there's any litigation questions on your test. And I will come back to free rider problem in just a second after I talk to Fevin.